Hey there, welcome to the Hot Slice Podcast. This is the podcast brought to you by Pizza Today magazine, where we're going to talk about everything pizza business. I am your host, Denise Greer, and along with me is our newest Pizza Today member. Hello, how are you, Kate Lavin?
Hello, Denise.
Woo-woo!
I'm doing great. Thank you
Excellent.
for asking me to join.
Absolutely. So, how are you settling in at Pizza Today?
I love it. Today we are sending my first magazine to the printer since I've joined the team, and I think it's a great one. It's the
Uh,
March
it's
issue.
it's the doozy. It's the biggest issue of the year.
It
So
is.
if we have a little bit of haggard looks on our faces, it is because we just put the March issue to bed, and it is a good one. We cannot wait for you to see it. There are so many tips in that issue, and and just the highlighting Pizza Expo. Pizza Expo is right around the corner, and we're really showcasing that. And we have Kate doing the expo preview, so she got to do a lot of learning about what the show was and interviews. And what are you most excited about with the show, Kate?
Ooh, I think I'm most excited to watch the International Pizza Challenge. That
Yeah.
just seems so cool with so many different kinds of pizza.
Hmm.
Different. I possibly especially excited for the non-traditional
Hmm.
division and all of the really kind of out of the box ideas that people are going to bring.
Yeah, I'm so excited. And speaking of International Pizza Challenge, Jeremy Galvin reached out to me to let me know that applications for judging is open, and I think is open until February 12th. So if you're listening and you think you would make a good judge, and there is quite a process to go through to become a judge, in this process. But if you would like to go through the process of trying to become a judge in the International Pizza Challenge, if you go to our Pizza Expo hub at pizzatoday.com, you'll see it up in kind of the first little section of the website. You can start the process. You can start to apply to become a judge. So it's an interesting thing, and we love our judges, and they do an incredible job, and it is a lot of hard work to be a judge at the International Pizza Challenge.
What a delicious job.
I know, right? I tell you what, I judged more of a local pizza competition, and it was hard. It was
I'll bet.
hard to judge, and I ate so many pizza, and you really have to like really only eat, the couple of pieces of each pizza, or else you just overdo it.
It
So,
sneaks up on you, huh?
yeah, so it is a hard job. So, but it's fun. So we're all geared up and getting ready for Pizza Expo, and we're very excited. Cannot wait. But now let's jump into our guest. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a warning here. If you're a little bit more sensitive, this is a sensitive subject because we are talking a little bit about tragedy and persevering through that. So just kind of a little trigger warning for you for that. But we are talking to Liz Badami from Mary Jane's Stone Baked Pizzeria in Chester, West Virginia, and that's up in the panhandle of West Virginia from Pennsylvania and Ohio. So it's right there up in the corner. And I tell you what, Liz is one of the strongest people that I've probably ever met, and her perseverance and attitude is just, it's amazing.
Absolutely. I the Chumbawamba song is playing in the back of my head. She gets knocked down and she gets up again.
Yeah, I mean, she's been through a lot, and to persevere and just keep going and keep going. She had a restaurant with her husband, and he passed away. The restaurant was dedicated to her mom, who also died tragically. And then they took her restaurant out from underneath her landlords. And so to actually reopen and get her own store that she owns, in her own building. It is quite the story, and you just sit back and listen to Liz because she's got an amazing story to share.
Such a cool person.
Absolutely. Well, let's just jump right into our conversation.
Are you ready to elevate your bakeware game? Spokane, Washington-based Lloyd Pans is the trusted name for professionals and home chefs alike. For over 40 years, Lloyd Pans has been creating innovative food service, bakeware, and pizza pans and tools designed to deliver perfect results every time. Whether it's crispy golden pizza crusts or perfectly baked pastries, Lloyd Pans' durable, stick-resistant, and proprietary pan finishes are a game changer. Visit lloydpans.com to explore our full lineup and find your perfect pan today. Need shipping quotes or custom products? Email sales@lloydpans.com for personalized service. Performance Food Service is proud to deliver high-quality products, innovative technology, and custom operational solutions to restaurants of all sizes across the country. The flagship division of Performance Food Group, with deep roots in the restaurant industry, Performance Food Service has been the exclusive distributor of the Roma family of brands for more than 65 years. This signature relationship has allowed Performance Food Service to become a leader in the pizza and Italian segment of food service nationwide.
Well, hey, Liz, welcome to the show. We're glad to have you on.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So your story is amazing from what I've read. And I was really excited that you wanted to come onto the show and talk to us a little bit. So first, I tell me about the dream you had, like when you were younger, where you wanted to start the business you have.
So when I was younger, when I was like 22 or whatever, I moved to Myrtle Beach and I wanted to go be a high volume server. You made a lot of money. And if I was going to be poor, I was going to move to the beach and be poor. So I became a high volume server. I worked at Outback Steakhouse. I did catering. I did Tony Roma's was like another job. And so I was down there for a little while and I was like, oh, I want to move up within the company. And so I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. But I made more money being a server. So then I moved back to Pennsylvania. And I moved back to Pennsylvania after I met my husband, and we ended up having a kid and our first son. And I started working at a portrait studio and I started to learn like more manager type skills, but I still missed the restaurant industry.
Yeah.
But then my husband, his more of a dream was like strictly pizza shop, but I never worked I did work in a pizza shop for like a very small time, but it didn't work with my schedule, so I couldn't stay. So he wanted to open up a pizza shop, and the one day he came home he was driving tow truck. He had his own business, and I was driving school bus at the time, and I had a photography business. And he came home and he was like, I'm selling the tow truck and we're going to open a pizza shop. You're either with me or you're not.
And you're like, okay.
Like, yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start or anything. And he said, like, you have this pay, we're going to go buy a mixer. You have this pay and we're going to go do this right here until I sell the truck. So that's what we did. We started getting like little bits and pieces at a time. I didn't really know much about pizza, so to say, like the recipes or anything like that. But I knew how to do like the paperwork behind the scenes of like, I created the whole entire menu myself. I got the EIN, all that kind of stuff, like all the behind the scenes work, because we didn't have a lot of money, so I couldn't pay people to help us. So I just had to look up all the stuff. So then we found a place that was down in Monaca, Pennsylvania, and it was a place that was going to be for rent soon. So we went down there and talked to the landlord, and she was like, yeah, go ahead. We could start to go ahead and move our stuff in there. So when we first opened, it was all of my husband's recipes. And I did like the other stuff, the hiring and, taking care of all the customers, that kind of stuff. But he was the behind the scenes of the food part. And that was in May of 2017. So we did that for about 2 years. And then on June 9th of 2019, we were home. It was a Sunday, and he was cutting down a tree and his chest started to hurt. And he went into cardiac arrest and he passed away a few hours later. So I have two sons. At the time, they were 8 and 11. I didn't know what to do. I had a couple days worth of dough left and sauce made, at the shop, and I had to figure stuff out. I didn't know if I was going to keep the shop open, and many were saying that, that it's going to be too much for me to do it by myself. And I did have a staff, I did have help, but my husband and I, we were there together every day. That was a guaranteed employee that was going to be there. So I really needed the other employees to like step up. And so I went down to the shop. I never closed the shop because I had stuff that I still had to buy food. I still had to keep going. And I created a sauce recipe as close as I could to my husband's, and I created a dough recipe as close as I could to my husband's. And when my husband first died, my youngest son, CJ, he remembered the recipe, but I was like so caught up doing like the funeral stuff that I didn't write it down. A couple days later, when I asked him about it, he didn't remember it.
Yeah.
But so I tried to remember as much as I could, and I started putting it together. And at first, like, I was adding the salt too soon. It wasn't letting my yeast activate, and because I just didn't know this stuff. And so then I started to read and like, I need to figure out how this is really going to work. And so as I kept going, I kept figuring out like, oh, well, the sugar feeds the yeast. And I didn't know, but back then, like, so, you know, working with dough, we would sometimes just do like 1 to 2 day fermentation, like, you know, whatever, we would just make it every couple days. But when I was able to use 3-day dough, I liked the way that it tastes. I liked the way that it felt, the way that it handled. And so I was like, well, then all my doughs, I'm doing it all 3-day. I'm going to make it in advance and I'm going to do it like that, not knowing what I know now, that it's a 72-hour fermentation process that's way better than just, you know, 1 or 2 day just make, or same day dough. Like we never use same day dough. So like, as I just kept going, I just kept like trying to learn. I'd read the Pizza Today magazine because I was like, I don't know. I didn't know what to really do. As a female, there's a lot of males in the pizza industry, but now going along, there are more females now. And I was like, because I just didn't know if I could do this. Like, I mean, it's obviously we're all in the pizza industry and it's a lot.
Yeah.
And just raising the kids. I mean, I had a whole household to take care of. And then in 2020, the pandemic hit. And my biggest thing was the safety of my family, the safety of my employees. So we did the whole pandemic thing, but it made us even busier. And I had to hire other people that like weren't able to go work at their bar jobs because, you know, the bars were closed down. They would come and help me because I had never been so busy in my whole life. I had no idea like what's going on. So we ended up being busier, and I was like, well, I mean, I guess I could do this. And I just kept like trying to improve different things. I was afraid at first. I mean, grief is really hard, and it puts you like in this shell that you think that like no one understands, I guess. So now it's been 5.5 years since my husband passed, and it's very different now because when we first opened the pizza shop, so we'll rewind a little bit. My pizza shop is named after my mom. So my mom was Mary Jane Heyer, and my mom was actually killed in a head-on collision on January 10th of 2015. That day completely turned my life upside down, and I struggled really, really bad. We had court for like 2 years, and you know, it's just really depressing. It was like I couldn't grieve because I was driving a school bus at the time. I don't know if you have to put this part on the thing, but you can. I mean, it is my story. Someday I'll write a book.
You should.
And that's a goal that I have. But when I was driving a school bus, you know, like we live in a little town called Beaver County, and there's thousands and thousands and thousands of kids. There's probably 12, 15 different schools. And my school bus that I drove had the son of the guy that killed my mom. So the guy that killed my mom, his son was on my school bus. So every day I drove his kid, which his kid did not do anything. But the guy that killed my mom, he was still free. And he would come pick up his kid every other weekend at his baby's mom's house. And it was just really, really hard. And so that's like probably another reason why my husband wanted like, hey, we're going to open up the pizza shop, you know, let's name it after your mom. The pizza shop's named after my mom, because my husband used to tease her all the time and say, one day we're going to open a pizza shop and we're going to name it after you. And my mom was going to do like all her banana bread and her cookies and her pumpkin pies and all like the different baked goods. And obviously she never got to see it in full bloom or anything like that, or even know that it's named after her. Maybe she does. But that's sort of kind of like how it came to be, that it was just like, well, we're going to open this. And maybe it was to help me get out of like my depression. You know, in the beginning, I did not talk about my grief at all. And I felt like I was in like a shell. So when my husband passed, I felt like no one wants to be bothered with it. And then pizza and the shop and the people and the community. I don't know, I guess sort of kind of like, I mean, my kids as well, but like they gave me life or gave me purpose, that these people needed me to feed them. They loved my pizza. They loved coming in. Like if it was just a smile for the day, and maybe that was my only smile that I got for the day, but it gave me a reason to get out of bed every day because these people depended on me and they needed me. Then it would have been May 26th of 2023. I was still in the same building, and my landlord randomly just said, I'm going to sell the building to my son and he wants you to move out and you have 30 days. There wasn't really a reason. But I feel that, I don't know if you could put this on there as well, but I feel that God had bigger plans for me. Yeah. I feel that he has bigger plans for me, and he wants me to do more than what I was just doing. Like I kept looking for a building for quite a long time because I was trying to buy that building that I was in, because I was like, I'll never open another pizza shop again because it's so much work. I know how much work it took my husband and I to open. We didn't have a lot of help, and there was no way that I was going to be able to do it by myself. Like that's how I felt. And then I had to move out, and it was like a big loss for the community. It was actually the first time that I was ever mentioned in the local newspaper. I was moving out, and but it gave me, I guess, time to heal from even my mom and my husband's death, from that time that we were closed, that I didn't have anything going on like that.
Yeah.
So I kept looking at building after building. I tried to stay in the same like area because I'm about 30 minutes from my old shop.
Okay.
And so I was trying to stay in the same like area, and I still feel that I am, because I used to drive 30 minutes to my old shop and I drive 15 to this one, you know, from where I live. But when I kept looking at these other places, everybody like wanted me to rent. And I was like, I'm never going to rent again. Like, I mean, that gave me so much anxiety of just trying to rent again. What if this happens again? Like, I can't set this stuff up. Like, I don't have people that are readily available to come help me. Like, do a lot by myself. So I was looking and looking, and then my friend Dominique over at Frank's Pastry, she is about 2 buildings down from me. She said, you know, like, hey, I have these stone ovens. You should come down here and just see if you can like just make pizzas. You can make pizzas out of the evening. I don't know. We can work something out. Like, you can't just sell pizza. You have to do this pizza. You're like the pizza girl. Okay. And so then I was like, well, maybe I can make these pizza kits. And so I can make my stuff. I can make the pizzas, and I can at least sell them that way. I can at least make some money until I could find a building. So whenever I was down here, I don't know, there's like a Taco Bell and a McDonald's, like, you know, close by, and I was probably picking up the kids' food, and I just happened to drive by and I saw that there was a building for sale down here. And I was like, I don't know, I've never called really for anything down here. Like, I'm really trying to stay in Pennsylvania. And then I called, and the real estate agent, she answered, and she was like, yeah, I can go show it to you today. And so I came down, and I was like, wow, like it just gave me a different feeling. Okay. So then I put in an offer, and I talked to the first bank, and they told me no. And I talked to the second bank, and they told me no. And I talked to the third bank, they told me no. They wanted me to have these partners because I didn't really have just steady income coming in like I did, but I knew what I could do with my pizza shop because I already did it. Like, I'm not just a brand new pizza shop, and I'm a hustler and I'm gonna figure out what I need to do.
And you had the proof in your success with your
I
pizza
had to
shop.
prove. I mean,
So
these people were waiting, like waiting for me to reopen.
Mhm.
And so there was a customer that used to come into my shop, and he said, like, hey, I work at the bank, blah, 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 and we have the SBA loans. And I was like, oh, okay, well, what else can I do? Let's just try it. Don't you know, he got it to go through, and it was like 30 days later. It was all approved. I got the building. So after like 4 or 5 months of like back and forth, I got the building. And before all of this, I had to call my dad because, like I said, I don't have people to help. And I was like, Dad, I need you to come down and help me. Are you able to commit to come down and help me? Because it needs a lot of work to make it my own, but can you help me? And he was just like, yeah. So at first we thought it was going to just be like a couple months. It'll only take like 2 or 3 months. And I'm like, it takes a long time to set up a kitchen, but okay. Yeah. So we just kept going along, and like faucets were broken, and
and you're doing it all yourselves, right? Too.
It's all us. I've learned to spackle. I've learned to paint with the light so you don't have spots all over the walls. Cleaning galore. So in my kitchen, it's all stainless steel. So I scrubbed all the stainless steel down. Barkeeper's find is pretty amazing. But yeah, so my dad, he came down here a couple days a week, and the rest of the time I was down here by myself, and I scrubbed and I cleaned and I built and I did all kinds of stuff. And about 9 months in the making, my newborn kid, my newborn pizzeria, the Chester was doing a hometown Christmas on December 7th. And I called like the health inspector a couple of days before, and I was like, hey, can you come? Like, I want to try to open like this next week. Was I ready? No, but I'm going to be ready. I'm going to figure out what I need to do, because there's a lot of people. Like, the town itself is like a Hallmark movie town. And like everybody comes into town for Christmas, for 4th of July. I actually, during my whole renovation, 4th of July, they have this big celebration, and there's thousands of people that come. Like, this town is little, like it's little, but it's like a little family town. I don't even know what else to say. Like, everybody knows everybody. And they were like, you should open up for or do like pizzas for that. But my ovens weren't even here. They were still in storage. And so I rented a Gosney oven, and I was like, I'll sell a couple pizzas. I was on a 2-hour wait. I had so many people, because it was the first time I had announced where my new location was going to be. So everybody was able to come down and see it. And I was like on a 2-hour wait, and I was like, oh my gosh, these people are like waiting. Like, they were like ready. So then I had all kinds of positive reviews and feedback. And then, I don't know. So then I opened in December, and my first day, it was like, because I only announced like the day or two before, but I found out like Wednesday was going to be my first official day. From that Wednesday, for the whole entire month of December, I was on a 2-hour wait every single day.
That's amazing.
At 4 o'clock, like I didn't know to start the phone lines earlier, but at 4 o'clock I would start the phones would go live, because we're only open 4 to 8:30.
Yeah.
And because I'm just a mom, and I want to be with my kids, and I need to make sure, and I just have a lot of prep to do. And so we opened at 4 o'clock, and by 4:30 I was on a 2-hour wait. By 4:15 it was every bit of a hour and a half wait.
Wow.
I had 9 staff. They were all brand new. So like every day I was just teaching them all brand new, because they never worked in a pizza shop before. And we rocked it out.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to just think that, oh, I don't know if I could do this. And I did, I guess. I am. And
yeah, then, you are. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What does it feel like after all of these obstacles and hurdles and trials you've gone through to own the building?
It's surreal. So for surreal, I guess like there's just so many goals that us as humans, that we have like these goals in life, and like, oh, I someday want to do that, and someday I want to do that, and I hope one day that I can do that. And then whenever you just like, I don't know, this is just what I'm going to do. Like, what do I have to lose? Like, I mean, what do I have to lose? Like,
Mhm.
I just need to go out and I need to try. And it's surreal that I own it.
Yeah.
I think it's because I'm still like in it and trying to absorb it all.
Mhm.
I work really, really hard for everything I have and everything that I do. I really care, probably a little extra. I get that from my mom.
Mhm.
um, but like, I just, it's surreal that I own it. I'm very proud of myself. Like, it's kind of weird to say that or to feel that, I guess.
You
Mhm.
should be. Unbelievable.
Um, it's just, I don't know. I'm just Liz who just owns her pizza shop and you know, just likes to hold my pizza sign out there, honk if you love pizza. And I want it to be a happy place that people can come to, that they can get a good meal. I want it to be like a healthy meal.
Mhm.
So I don't know if I should put this on here, but my old dough that I used was bromated flour because I didn't know. And
Mhm.
so I recently changed my stuff. It was a couple weeks after I opened, and I was like, I need to change this recipe. Like, this isn't healthy. This isn't good. And so I changed my whole dough recipe. Just no one has said anything, but they think that it's great, and I think it tastes 100 times better. But now it is 1,000%. It has nothing to even do with, like, it's 1,000% my recipe now because
Yeah.
changed the hydration. I changed everything in
Yeah.
it. Um, but I don't know. No one else knows
Yeah.
that.
Dough, I feel like dough is such an evolution, it's
It
always
is.
evolving and changing and doing. Is it to a place right now where you're like, okay, I'm not gonna do any tweaks right now. I'm just we're
So
gonna we're
right
gonna let this
now,
ride.
so right now I have a little tweak going on, but I had
Okay.
to wait for the dough to rise, because I
Yeah.
couldn't use it. But for the most part, this is like 95% where I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, this is, I mean, I've waited a long time. I have I have thought about like bettering my like always bettering my stuff. So like at the old
Hmm.
shop, I bought pre-made wing sauces. At this shop, I make all my wing sauces.
Hmm.
Um, my dressings, like I make homemade ranch. I'm gonna make homemade honey mustard. I make a candy pepper wing sauce. I make the
Yum.
buffalo wing sauce I make. I want to just create just different things that I create that I know that just don't have all kinds of extra, like, I don't know, I want to say chemicals, but extra stuff
Yeah.
in them to preserve them as much as I can because I eat this stuff every day. So if I like the food, I will put it on the menu. So
Nice.
yeah, yeah.
I absolutely love that. One question I have for you is with such a big launch month of December, now that, I don't know if you got into a January kind of lull like a lot of pizzerias get into, or if you still stayed high, but were you able to kind of recollect yourself after such a huge December to kind of push your business forward and think about how you're gonna now go forward with just progressing?
So December being so busy, because I try to make like a schedule, like I was going to open like 5 days the one week, because right now I only open Tuesday through Saturday. Um,
Hmm.
Tuesday nights my kids have scouts, and I just want to be a mom, and I want to be able to be with my kids, and so that's why I close, and I have the weekend with my kid, one weekend day with my kids, and I'm
Hmm.
able to do my other business stuff the other days. At the old shop, at the old shop I was open for 5 days,
Yeah.
and um, in January, it did, I guess yes, it did slow down. Yes.
Hmm.
And that's why I was able to focus a little bit more on other things and sort of kind of, because in December, I was just trying to get through to the
Yeah.
next day. I mean, the dough amount that I made at my old shop, I was making that almost in 1 to 2 days at my new shop. Like, that's how
Yeah.
busy it was. So it was almost like double. So whenever January, I'm making, I'm still making like almost the same amount of dough, but it's like leveled out a little bit. Like, people aren't like rushing that first couple hours. It's just a steady flow the whole entire shift now.
Yeah.
Um, for for January, yes, it has slowed down definitely compared to December, but I don't have numbers to compare it to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, of like
Just yeah.
last
Yeah.
year to know.
Yeah.
But compared to my old shop, it's way, way, way busier than my old shop. So Chester is some pizza eating, loving people. And I mean, I guess the Ohio Valley over here, because this is really the Ohio Valley area for pizza.
Mhm.
It's all the square Sicilian style pizzas. Um, I'm the only round New York-ish style pizza.
Yeah.
Around there is another pizza shop locally just right down the street that does round hand tossed pizza as well, but it's not a stone oven. So I don't know if that makes a difference, and they've been here for a long time, but it's also a drive-through beer distributor. So I don't know if
Yeah.
people, it's just a different kind of pizza, you know, it's just different than what I have. Whereas like I have, I mean, I have wings, gyros, hoagies, calzones. Like, I mean, I have a pretty extensive
Mhm.
menu, but they sort of kind of all blend together. They all use each other ingredients. It just depends
Yeah.
how you want it prepared, you know?
Yeah, just cross-utilizing everything. I love that. I'll end on this question because I know you're a very busy woman. Where do you want to take your business? And, being in a smaller community like that, how will that help you, to advance and grow your business now, especially that you own your building?
Well, as my dad told me, don't ever let anybody tell you no and you could do anything that you want to do.
Yes.
Doing this right here and as all the people that, I mean, I do have a lot of love. I have a lot of love. I have a lot of support. I have a lot of support from a lot of customers and friends. And I would say there's so many things that I want to do. Like, I mean, because I own like the lot next door. I
Hmm.
don't know, maybe one day I'll put like a little beer garden over there.
Yeah.
I just want to wait until my kids are a little bit older because they're young. And my youngest, he's 13. Well, he's 14 now. He's my main phone person. He answers,
Oh, I love that.
he works all 4 days. He works his full hours and he answers 90% of the phone calls. I have other people come out to help him, but he is the customer service person. My oldest son, he's 17. He has a little bit of a busier schedule. He helps out in the kitchen. He does my computer stuff. He does my POS system for me. Um, he does like all of that stuff. I want them to be a little bit older before I guess, commit to a whole bunch more. I
Hmm.
want to add like other pizzas and specialty pizzas. Right now, I feel that I'm just trying to come out of my shell a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, Doing like this podcast and I guess people just finding out about me is
Hmm.
just like this is my personality, but it's just I'm just trying to come out of my shell right now, I guess. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I'm trying to absorb it, but just trying to enjoy it at the same time. I mean, the shop can be huge. I mean,
Hmm.
maybe one day I'll do a food truck with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just to expand it out a little bit. But I don't know. I
That's awesome.
the possibilities are endless.
I love that. And hopefully you'll get to, I don't know if you've been to Pizza Expo yet, but
I
Pizza
have
Expo
not.
is always a good time. And we actually are bringing Pizza Expo, a regional Pizza Expo to Columbus. So we're not going
You
to be
are. I will
far
be at
away
that
from you
one. I
in
will be at
October.
that one.
Oh,
Yep,
good.
I'll be at that one. I tried to go to the Pizza Expo in 2020, and
Yeah.
obviously
You
everything
canceled
changed.
it.
Yeah, so then I just have never been able to make it out there because I just have the kids and like I'm
Yeah.
trying to be the
Yeah.
mom, but I'll be in Columbus because that's close, and I'll just drive up for the day, or
Absolutely.
that's a little closer, not halfway across the U.S. But
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
Well, we
Well,
can't wait to see you.
yes, we'll
sounds
have
good. Yeah.
definitely just come, if you see us, just, drag us down to say, okay,
Well, I'm a
um,
hugger, so I'll be
good.
like, are you Denise?
We
Are you?
love this industry.
Yeah.
Like there are so many huggers in this industry. It is great. It
Yes.
is not like I love huggers, and in Vegas, I will give hundreds of hugs. Like it's just that's how it's
Yes.
going. And
And I
this will
think,
be Kate's first expo, so she's
oh
gonna
my gosh, that's
realize
super
what a
exciting.
hugger this group is.
So
Oh,
excited.
that's super cool. Yeah, like I mean, I watch a lot of I started watching other people's like social media. So like Rocco's Pizzeria, he just opened up Slice House and he has Rocco's Pizzeria in Youngwood. There's Coast Pizza down in Myrtle Beach.
Mhm.
Whenever I was like, just, hey, what do I need to do? And I just try to like follow these other people. They've been
Yeah.
big helps. I follow a lot of other people and they just like inspire me to just be better and do better and create my product to be better. Now I would say more like compared to what I was like 5.5 years ago, like not really knowing anything about pizza, so to say, I would
Mhm.
say I do okay. Like I got the good cheese and got the grande going on and Stanislaus, like love them. Yeah, I want myself to be as best as I can, even this little small town that it is. I just want it to be as big as what I can make it be. Highest rated
Well,
pizza on the Panhandle, right?
absolutely, absolutely. Well, you're just you're killing it. So keep up the great work, and we can't wait to continue to follow your story. And just we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And also thank you for mentioning me in the Pizza Today magazine as well. I do
Oh
appreciate it.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, you take care and have a lovely Wednesday.
All right. You too. Bye.
Okay.
Nice meeting you
Thank you,
both.
Liz. You
Bye.
too.
Thank you.
Bye.